These are baby sauces. This is a baby sauce. This is a baby hot sauce.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Spicy Gamers, the show where we talk games and play with fire. I am super excited for today because we have such a cool guest and of course such a dangerously spicy road ahead of us. We have the one and only Lacey Johnson. You may recognize her as a vocalist. You may know her as a Keytar Kween. You might also have seen her playing guitar, bass all over YouTube, making video game and other kinds of music remixes and arrangements. You also might have her trilogy of Persona albums. You may have caught her live at hundreds of different show venues and events, including MagFest and BGM Con. But today I am extra happy to introduce her because we're going to be talking, among other things, about her brand new album, Chaos Control, featuring 20 tracks from the Sonic the Hedgehog series, many of which from brand spanking ones, some of the classics, and everything in between. Lacey, welcome to hell.
Wow, what an entrance that was. Damn. Thank you. No, that was very good. Thank you. Thank you for that intro, Ro. Wow.
Well, I appreciate you being brave enough to come on, and of course, taking on the persona there of I said Eggman when she joined in, but listen, it's an open-ended scenario.
Listen, I am a big fan of hot ones. I love spicy food. I love content surrounding spicy food. I had to do a Sean Evans cosplay here. I will take it off likely after I start eating these sauces because I'm terrified for what is ahead of me this evening. But I'm so happy to be here, and Ro, I love you, so this is just way more fun.
This is just gonna be fun.
I know.
We're just playing.
Just nonsense. Just yapping. Just us hollering, hooting and hollering.
I just wanted to kind of ask for the camera's sake, what's your like spice tolerance, or like what's your favorite spicy hot food?
I love spicy food. Being born and raised in Southern California, we have very good Mexican food here. And so it's been a staple of my diet for my entire life, pretty much. I love spicy food. I seek it out. I am the first to a buffalo wing. I am someone who loves Korean food. I love a lot of hot, spicy Asian food. Szechuan food as well. Big fan of spicy Chinese food. So I'm pretty stoked, but I'm also I've heard things about some of these spices, considering especially da bomb. I have heard about da bomb very many times. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Will I suffer? Will I thrive? Maybe you'll never know. I love you asking me questions and I'm just staring at you in a bald cap like this. Ro didn't know I was doing this, by the way. I just rolled up my camera.
No, I had no idea, but I never really do with you.
Yeah,
I think that's what makes it lovely. Do you have a fun memory or like something that reminds you of when you got your start with YouTube music videos that resonates with you? Sometime maybe like you felt this was going to be fun to keep doing?
One comes to mind immediately, which was my Skyrim video. I don't know if I've told this story before, but I will. And I don't care. You guys can hear it again. You can entertain Mima as she shares her stories. Peter and I, my partner Peter, we went down to the river. And there's like, we live in Southern California, but we're in the suburbs, all right? So there's a park like 30 minutes south from us that is in the foothills. So it actually has landscape, which is usually where we go if you see us ever filming in an outdoorsy way. It's usually there. So I'm in full LARPing gear, and like it's a bit of a walk from the parking lot to where the filming area is. And I've got my guitar hanging on a strap, and then I've got my cat piano under my arm, because of course this is when the cat piano was at its peak for me. But again, I'm in like fur boots, the whole just like I could be LARPing. So we're like walking down and we pass by this like dad and his son, and the son's like pointing at me and being like, Dad, what are they doing? And he was like, well, son, that's called LARPing. And I was like,
wow.
Sure. Okay.
Wow.
But then as I was like standing in the river, ruining my shoes, and I'm just like bashing away on the cat piano, I was like, you know, I'm okay being the girl that's just LARPing in the middle of this park. But I don't know, that was a moment where I just really owned it, and I enjoyed being perceived in the silly way that I am, because I think YouTube just inherently is a little silly, right? We're like doing all of this to a camera, and especially, you know, I do a lot to the camera.
Yeah.
I do a lot. So it was a very like an exciting moment for me, because I went, yeah, I like that. That's really fun. And then I just never stopped.
I mean, like, insert montage here. Like,
Yeah.
It's the precursor to so much cosplay, stream costumes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but it's nice to also just see that, like, validation.
That's when you see me in my purest form.
We have collaborated, you have collaborated with some of the greatest guitar players out there, some of our fellow game musicians across a variety of songs, and you've also played live and been invited to play with a lot of people. So having all of this experience of setting up, reaching out, communications, do you have some sort of golden rule or collaboration etiquette that you think makes these things really work well that you can recommend?
Yeah, I think ultimately so much of it boils down to, this is such a simple proverb, but I will expand. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And I always operate under the bias of, I'll never ask for an empty favor. I'll never ask for something I don't fully intend to deliver and then some on. And I would never ask anyone to do that for me. Because ultimately, if someone asks me to be a part of a project, I don't want to wait 8 months to record on it. You know, I think a lot of the time I wait to ask someone who I have in mind or someone I really want to work with once I have pretty much a fully fledged idea, because then it's like, great, here it is. Let me know what you think. This is the date I'm trying to get it done by, because I like expectation and I like having very clear deadlines, because I'm a busy lady. So I like to know if I can realistically commit to something or not. And I would really ask the same of collaborators. And I think it's different per case for me, because there's some songs that I'll start with the idea of somebody being on it with me. Like when you jumped on Eggman, I literally was like, I have to ask Ro, and I have to get this done fast to send to Ro. Yeah.
That's like my favorite adventure song, so it kind of worked. You didn't know that, but...
No, it was great, because I literally, like, a patron requested it for me, and I went, okay, sure, you know, I haven't done a Sonic Adventure track in a while, let's do it. Let's see, this has a fun guitar part on it, you know, let me message Ro really quick. And it literally was just like a boom, 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 boom. That day I asked you, because I was like, I'll get it together. I'll figure it out. And you shredded, and it was freaking awesome.
The musicality of it is really nice too. Like when you have, I think I remember once Hamilton dropped on Disney Plus and we did Burn. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, this is a theatrical kind of track. So it is going to lend itself to someone who has like kind of a love for that narrative edge in their performance.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I just like the idea that collaboration
Me too.
has a personal kind of edge to it too. Do you lean more towards the thinking of the person rather than the instrument necessary for some of these things?
You know, I think they're starting to become synonymous for me, because in my head, when I'm hearing a song, like with Trey is a great example, I thought of Trey the minute I was considering Reach for the Stars on the album, because they and I had done, we did a cover of Ocean Avenue together years ago, and both of us were like, God, we need to start a pop punk band. Yeah. And because we both literally live for the genre, and we hung out a lot together at this last NAMM, and they were like, I would love to work with you on anything, you know, please, like, reach out, don't be, you know, afraid to. And I went, okay, cool. So when I was thinking of Reach for the Stars, I just went, God, I hear Trey in this song so much. And I just was like, I have to ask. And they were thrilled, and they like knocked it out of the park and sent me like 12 different harmony tracks, and I was like, whoa, oh my god, this is great.
Yeah.
Trey is a masterclass in collaboration. They work so hard and always like just give you everything you could ever want. It's great. It's awesome.
It's perfection
Yes.
producer mindset too.
Yes. It's funny you bring up that burn collaboration too, because I just told the story the other day how I almost burned Peter's parents' garage down because we filmed in there. And I lit a piece of paper on fire, and
that's right.
it got
You told me
really
this.
close to my hand, and I dropped it, and it missed the bucket. But thankfully, we had set out a couple cement blocks to stamp it out. But I haven't been allowed to put fire in inside
You know what?
anymore.
I'm gonna hijack this collaboration question and make sure you include it. Safety first.
Yeah, safety first. Clear expectations, communication, safety, I guess, whatever.
Performed largely as a solo artist, and of course with bands as a guest and so on. Are there any freeing aspects about just rocking your own show, getting to tour and perform at different conventions that people may not think of?
There's a lot of give and take, right? Because I think the community of a band or an ensemble is really beautiful, and I do that as well.
Right.
The hidden benefits of being a solo artist is rehearsal is so easy because it's just on my own time, and I rehearse like crazy before any convention. So by the time you're seeing me do it at a convention, I've done it probably 30 times. And that's not a overestimate. I would say that's about right. So rehearsal is easy. It's not like wrangling cats. Usually for a hotel room, I mean, I'm by myself, so I have my own private little space, which is nice. And also just logistically flying with instruments and stuff, not having like 6 giant cases is really nice. But it's lonely. I mean, it's really cool, and my community is always there for me. And usually at all these events, there's at least like 20 people that I know. But you know, it is a little like you can kind of celebrate through like FaceTime with your community that isn't there. But it definitely gets a little bit lonely just doing it alone. But at the same time, I'm my worst critic, so it's kind of like, well, no one can nitpick the show except me. So it's like, it's all good.
Yeah, and I mean, it's never ever like a question of like the quality of a performance or how you host. One of the things I always think of when I get the opportunity to see you perform, and I think this year I got to do that at least once, is that it's not just one person in one corner of a stage playing through music. It's a performance.
Right.
There's discussion, there's humor, there's lights, there's dancing, there's surprise costumes and antics and stunts. And I think that's something that a lot of people who want to also follow in your footsteps as a solo artist or people in groups, bands, DJs can absorb. So it's really interesting to see that dynamic, especially in our space.
Yeah.
You know, people come from bedrooms.
Well, thank you, because, you know, I mean, the thing to remember is that your performance is what you put into it. And I think you're missing half of the show if all you're doing is staying in your one zone and just playing your instrument. You're missing half of that experience because the people that are there want to be there with you. It's not just watching a video or just listening to a record. Like, I think that's why I do some of the stupid things that I do, because again, it's like, that's me. That's me. I'm goofy.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I'll literally be performing a song and then I'll just go into Megalovania and nobody knows what the hell is going on. And so it's like, well, why not? You're here. Let's have fun, you know? And like, my goal always with an audience is to make them have fun. They don't have a choice. And to disarm everyone that's in that room. Because I think more and more, all these, like, every day, people have barriers, right? And rightfully so. I think that it's fair to be guarded going into a social situation. I think it's fair to have ideas about who you can trust and where you want to, you know, spend your time and energy. And for me, I like to see everyone where they're at And that's why I look people in the eye when I'm playing, and I'm very like contact focused. That's a big thing for me. And I like to immediately make everyone feel very safe and welcome, because that's such a priority for me. And I want everyone to just leave my show feeling like, that was great. I had fun. That was a great however many minutes, you know? It's like, that's all I want. That's it.
You're jumping from 20 to 60 in a minute. Don't get cocky.
Baby sausage.
Many folks can attribute you as a vocalist or as a keyboardist, guitarist, pianist, guitarist. You pick up a lot of instruments, and I've even seen you play now drums and banjos and more. So what is your process getting comfortable around brand new instruments, and what do you kind of like work towards to feel comfy playing it live or even tracking it?
That's a good question. A lot of the time I am reaching for familiarity in some way, right? Because, I mean, it's no secret, a lot of the instruments I play are strings, because stringed instruments work relatively similarly. You tune them in a way, you put your hands in a way, and then it's there. Drums was a bit of an obstacle just because of the coordination aspect of everything. I started playing the drums. This is something a lot of people don't know because I just don't talk about it. I started playing the drums about almost 10 years ago, if not exactly 10 years ago. Yeah. I traded drum lessons with one of my coworkers at the school I was working at the time. And I taught him piano. He taught me some drums, mostly percussion. But it's like, I understand note values. I mean, as a pianist, I understand how rhythms work and polyrhythms and having my hands do two different things. So it was mainly just, you know, and still is, how on earth do the feet work? That's the big old question. But I love it. I've been playing the drums. I got an E kit 9 years ago because I started with just a cheap acoustic drum kit, and my neighbors were like, hey, no. So got rid of that one. But then Peter helped me get an E kit, and I have a rolling kit, and I've been using it ever since then. And it for a long time was just an instrument that was just for me. So a lot of the time I just want to find a way to play on the instrument, whatever that looks like, and have fun and feel like I'm doing something, right? And I feel like that's the goal for a lot of people, is just to play it and have fun doing it. It's been a lot of just asking questions. I ask people all the time. I ask drummers all the time. I ask them about stick control, about some techniques for their feet, about songs that I should check out if I want to learn this kind of groove. You know, I mean, I am always in pursuit of asking people who are smarter than me questions, and I am never too proud to ask questions. So often we get so stuck in that pride bubble that we don't ask another person who does the same thing how to do it and what they like about it, because then it'll just make you shift your focus. And like one of the drummer who I used to work with in Steam Powered Giraffe, Davey, I asked him so many questions about how can I strengthen my left hand when I'm drumming? How can I improve my coordination between like my left hand and my right foot? And he gave me so many amazing techniques, one of which, in case you are also struggling, is instead of doing a cross stick, which I think is a lot of people's traditional way of playing a drum set, be more open. So have your left hand take control of the hi-hat. It's a lot harder, and it will actually cause you to think of other fills because your body is more open to the rest of the kit. And it did change a lot for me.
Someone told me this when I got my own E-kit as well. And it's that kind of like brain shattering shift in perspective.
Never would have thought about it.
Talk to people, especially if you like what they do. I've never heard of someone messaging like, you know, any musician like yourself and not even hearing back or getting like some helpful like resources.
We're all nerds.
You've covered a lot of Sonic even before tackling a 20-track behemoth of a project, covering, again, Sonic from, I believe, Sonic 3 onwards all the way to, like, you know, brand spanking new Find Your Flame, I think, was the newest, I want to say.
And Shadow Generations as well.
Shadow Generations, that's fair.
Yeah.
And you've covered a lot of Sonic well before this. Was there something about making this album in particular that kind of inspired you beyond just let me do my Lacey thing on Sonic.
This album began as something completely different. This album was going to be, and I'm just going to be honest, this was just going to be the easy drop. I was just going to make a record because people had asked me forever, hey, can you just make a Sonic album so I can listen to it? And I went, sure. So I was just going to compile with maybe 1 or 2 new songs, just make an album, put it out, enjoy it, right? And then Flying the Freedom happened. I had not recorded it, I had not arranged it, but I heard it and went, oh my God, this song's so cool. I'm gonna make this like a bonus track on the album because I think that'd be neat. So I pitched the album to my friend, which I love to do, and I highly suggest any of you independent artists do the same. Find somebody who either knows the material or just knows what you do and pitch them your next thing and take the feedback because I am so lucky to have friends that are super gently critical when I ask for it. They're very supportive and they'll give me really honest feedback. It's gotten me so much farther than people that are like,
yeah, this does nothing for anybody until you're tired and you're done with the actual thing.
Yeah, no, so I was so glad I pitched it to my friend and she said, it was like 11 p.m. and we were on my floor, I remember this. And she was like, so can I tell you something you're not gonna like? And I was like, okay. And she was like, I don't think you have just one album. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She's like, well, it feels here like you have something that feels more like 2 pieces of work that maybe should come together in some way. And I went, oh no. So that was when we realized, she's like, I just feel like you have an equal amount of like Team Hero here and Team Dark represented. And maybe there's something to do with that. And I was like, are you literally telling me to make a double album? She's like, I don't know what you're saying right now. And so anyway, Flying the Freedom was the reason that the double album happened. This album was a lot of fun because it was more of a concept in that way. So I literally treated the first half of the record in a very different way than the recording process and the treatment of the second half. And I honestly had a lot of fun with the Team Dark half of the album because so much of it is so industrial, which is a style I love that I don't do very much. And I'm going to explore that more too with other games. I really had fun crafting the synth sounds and a lot of like the mixing sounds for the first half in Team Hero to be more optimistic, driving, bright, like I wanted things to feel very saturated on the first half of the album, and that was so intentional. The listing of all of the tracks was very intentional. To then like get to Team Dark and just really sink in with this machine, and like Jack just killed it.
Yeah, you have like some really good players in there too.
I literally am collecting
who like
them.
Sonic.
I'm collecting y'all. Like I'm just like, this is amazing.
We're emeralds.
Look at that. Yes. Soundtrack of this franchise could not be narrowed down to one genre. And to me, I've always loved that Sonic music is so different. Because depending on the era of Sonic that you play, depending on the genre of Sonic that you play, you have a vastly different understanding and appreciation for what the music is. And like, I grew up with, you know, the Sega Genesis in my dentist's office. That was like what I had. So like, I loved Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Cool Sonic, who was like,
White era.
You know, I loved that Sonic. Yeah, and then like we get into Goofy guy, and I was like, okay, well, I love him. That's great. And I just think it's so fun to have a franchise that's as versatile as I would love to consider myself to be. And that was a lot of fun. Like I really found a lot of myself in this record. And especially just to feature like people I love so much on it was such a treat for me, just to be like, hey.
Going from a trilogy of Persona albums and varieties of recordings, one-off singles, are there any pitfalls or tricks you think that as you moved into making this big album, you picked up on, or things that you're like, phew, I'm glad I figured that out before 20 tracks of this.
I've talked about this before, but I will never stop talking about it because as someone who does self-produce and record and all that, what saves my life is knowing my software. So having templates made, having go-to patches that I know if I'm looking for a synth that sounds like a crystal bell, I know exactly what that patch is and I know exactly where to find it. The reason I work so fast is because I know my DAW software inside and out in every way. So I have made every mistake. I have made every bad decision and every weird combination of thing in my software that did not work hundreds of times so that I could realistically execute an album in like 7 months. This is going to hurt a lot of you because, again, this was a different time, but I had 8 gigs of RAM in that laptop. I had 8 gigs of RAM. And Logic Pro, which is a Mac DAW that I use religiously, does not like 8 gigs of RAM. And so what I used to have to do, and I did this for a long time on my YouTube channel, you've heard these recordings, I would have to bounce every single track down to be able to do multiple vocals, to be able to do multiple guitars. I would have to bounce them and bake everything in to that track because I didn't know how to use buses yet. So I was baking everything in at the same time and just taking everything and hoping something sounded fine. And like having to play with, this is a baby sauce. This is a baby hot sauce.
Lacey, no!
Baby hot sauce.
You don't understand.
Viewers, can you tell that one of us has had the bomb and the other has not by how we're treating this?
You love many, many musical things. And it's been really interesting to see your diversity of interest, including, of course, K-pop. So I'd like you, as an avid fan of both K-pop and the historic franchise Final Fantasy, to create your own K-pop or just idol kind of group, 5 Final Fantasy characters, and tell me who would be the most popular. What role would they play?
Yeah, it's hit my left salivary
So
gland.
specific.
Okay, the obvious choice here is a girl group, and I'm not going to pursue that because Yuna already has her existing presence as an idol, right? We're not going to go there. Yeah, this sauce sucks. So if we have to think of, so it's got to be 5. So if we're thinking of our dreamy lads for the ultimate Final Fantasy boy band, okay? And I know Carrie Wood is going to be very interested in this answer. So, okay, I'm going to go with my ultimate, which is Titus from Final Fantasy X, the love of my life. His role is to be kind of the bratty forward vocal that no one really likes, but they all still love him, you know? He's like the one that's like, oh man, it's him again. I love him. We're gonna have Cypher as one of the cool, big backup dancer guys from Final Fantasy VIII. I don't know why I need to clarify, but I will. We're gonna have Cypher as one of the cool, big backup dancer guys. Zidane or Zidane, I think would be another good complimentary, like, dancer. He's the lead dancer. Clive?
Yes.
Is that his name?
I
From
haven't
16?
played Clive. I just...
Yes, thank you. I love him. He's very pretty. So he can be in the group. Whatever he does is fine. It doesn't matter. I'm just looking at him. And then I would say our 5th and final member would have to be Sephiroth. And he is the tall and mysterious one that is also way too talented to be in the group.
I love
but he's
it.
there anyway.
I will ship this group. I will find PNGs and put them together. Last thing, you got to give them a name.
Boyaga's not bad. I do
guy
like
from
that.
Star Wars? John Boyega.
That's Boyega.
So I've talked to you on a different podcast about this particular topic, but it's always kind of a sentimental and tearjerker one. I love seeing how younger musicians, and especially children, engage with your shows. It gives me a lot of hope that there's love for music that's still perpetuating, but also for someone to see like a phenomenal rock artist and a female rock artist just tearing it up there. With that in mind, what does it mean to you to see these younger folks at shows? And is there something specific about like the game and anime and nerdy space that you think is helping move that along?
It makes me cry pretty much every time. It's really special. So I've been an educator for a long time. I've been a teacher in schools, privately, and a mentor to a lot of kids. A lot of kids who I've seen grow and go to college. And it never fails to just give me meaning. To see anyone in general resonate with anything I do artistically, but especially children, because kids don't hide what they feel. They externalize every single thing that they feel. And I think especially just in a live music context, because I see it, I've been very lucky to see it recently too. There's just so much there that I think is so pure and so beautiful. And I want anyone within our space to have that kind of freedom and that kind of feeling, to just know that we are also powerful and we can do so much, even just as an individual, even just as a nerdy girl with colorful hair that loves Magikarp too much.
No such
like
thing.
I have so much power to bring such good feelings and change to anyone. And I want everyone out there to know that you also have so much power to bring community and love and positivity to the people around you and the people that engage with your art. And it's such a privilege to be able to do so. And I think this space is incredible at uplifting and supporting those who are like-minded in that way, where everyone wants to have fun. And I think that's such a special thing that our community has.
That was really well put. In addition to making music, I know that you also are an avid enjoyer of seeing concerts. Are there any standouts? And are there any moments that also have influenced you as a live performer? Like you saw something and you're like, I gotta try that.
I'm suffering a lot right now. Hold on.
Did you get like a better spoonful this time?
Oh, yes. Oh, Ro, it hurts. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
So I'm a really big fan of Spirit Box. Courtney LaPlante is an amazing front woman. She is just so cool. Many other words that I can't say here. But she's awesome. She's empowering. She's powerful. And she's someone who I really am very inspired by. Because how she runs that stage is really, really cool. And it's how I want to run things.
Hell yeah.
A surprise hit for me this year was Baby No Money. He's a rapper, and my friends and I went to go see him. And he was one of the most fun concerts I've ever been to. Because talk about, like, making sure everyone in there had fun. He was just doing the dumbest stuff. He was the one who I lifted the Pokemon card opening idea from.
Oh, I've
Thank you,
started
Baby No
seeing
Money.
that.
Peter and I get a lot of inspiration for visuals from K-pop concerts because they have some of the best visuals in the industry. And that was kind of how we actually got the idea for my first Mag West performance. That was the Persona show. We went and saw a group called Idol, which is a Korean girl group. And their backing visuals were so cool because they weren't artistic like textures and displays and things that I think we all associate with visuals, but they were more environments. And that was a big switch for both Peter and I, because we both went, oh, because I never want people to be watching the screen. I want them to be watching me. I want them to kind of be taking in what I'm doing within the context of the visual. It's very important to me.
I'm going to have 2 minutes on the clock for you to name, for every alphabet, letter of the alphabet, something related to Sonic, be it a character, level, or thing, song from Sonic. Go.
Fine.
Or go.
Oh God. Okay.
All right, A.
Amy Rose.
All right. B.
Oh, this isn't that hot.
Yeah, it grows.
Why can't I think of B? Oh my God.
It's all right. Do you want to skip skip it?
I guess.
C.
Chaos Emerald.
Nice. D.
Thank you. Oh, this is so hard.
This is probably the hardest one.
This is so hard. Oh my God. I keep wanting to say Dark Zone, but that's Deltarune.
Or do they call... I'm giving you Dark Story.
Okay.
Because dark. Okay, E.
Eggman.
Eggman.
Flag in the freedom.
All right, G.
Apparently I'm just singing now. Oh God, I wish I had more character names memorized at this moment in my head right now. Green Hill Zone.
All right, perfect timing. And that is 2 minutes on the clock exactly.
That's very sad that's as far as I got.
That is
And I
easy.
had to skip B. What's a B? Can you think of one?
Big the Cat.
Oh God, of course. Oh, everyone's gonna come for me.
No, that was, I will give you this. That was the hardest question I think I've asked anyone for 2 minutes.
Thanks. This tastes good. I really do like. I'm gonna go for more. I do like this one.
Well, you've done a brave attempt at this crazy lightning round, but more importantly, you've completed a humongous release. You've performed many, many times this year with many more on the books, and we've been super lucky to get to hear it, whether it's been on the live stage, on streaming, or of course now on our respective players. So where can folks check out the fantastic hard rockin' majesty that is Chaos Control?
Well, I'll tell you, Ro. They can.
They can wait.
No, they can't. This is the way it was meant to be delivered.
Please continue.
You can find the Chaos Control on all streaming platforms and on the Bandcamp. That includes the iTunes. Yeah, check out Chaos Control. It's featuring really, really amazing people within the VGM community. It sounds like a very emotional. I am, including the wonderful Ro Panaganti. It was a lot of work, and it's received a lot of really nice words and feedback. I appreciate that so much. We do have physical CDs on Bandcamp. Those are actually arriving tomorrow, so I will be doing the first shipment ASAP. So if you want one, order one, get it in. And you can find me all over the internets at Lacey Johnson Music. Come see Steam Powered Giraffe on tour this year. We're going all over the U.S. Please come. It'll be fun.
Thank you for mustering through that. And she is correct. Steam Powered Giraffe is also a phenomenal, great time. We were super lucky to get to see it. It's fun. It's family friendly. It's just good music. And of course, yourself. This is a great album. These songs were made with the love of someone who genuinely enjoys playing and performing and road testing a lot of this music, which is something that not everyone gets to say. So definitely check it out. If you enjoyed this episode, we've been blessed with many, many more in a playlist, so you can check out other awesome artists who have gone through the wrath of spicy things in the name of video games. Till then, I'm your host, Ro Panaganti. I'll see you at the next one. And Shadow will too.